So good evening and good morning. Let's begin our session on psychic education. So as we usually do with this session, we'll begin with this prayer. If anybody would like to read it for us, they are welcome to do it. Otherwise, I will read. Yeah, I'll read it. So Lord, we pray to thee, may we understand better why we are here. May we do better what we have to do here. May we be what we ought to become here, so that thy will may be fulfilled harmoniously. The Mother. So invoking Sri Aurobindo and Mother's grace and presence as we begin this next session on psychic education, aspiring for more suppleness, receptivity, so that I can absorb, take in, become what I read with practice. Thank you. So this is where we have to start from today, page 35, and we are on the chapter In Search of the Soul. So if anybody has a capacity to read, they can read it for us.
Yeah. The mother has also given a more mental road to the psychic. Reflection on the following passage may be helpful. The starting point is to seek in yourself that which is independent of the body and the circumstances of life, which is not born of the mental formation that you have been given, the language you speak, the habits and customs of the environment in which you live, the country where you are born, or the age to which you belong. The mother. It may take time to find your personal key. It may be the visualization of a beam of light, a diamond, the imagery of the movement of a drop of water that slowly hollows the hard rock of the outer being, repeating a mantra inside yourself, etc. After you have found your key, it still may take time before you receive a first glimmer of the psychic. And you may have to repeat the exercise many times. But the mother says that each time your search will bring you closer to the truth of your being. If, after a length of time, you do not have some result, you may sometimes wonder if you are on the right path. Here is a passage that may give you encouragement and inspiration when such a moment occurs. The divine presence is in you. It's in you. The presence is there. You want the appreciation of others to get strength. You will never get it. The strength is in you. If you want, you can aspire for what seems to you the supreme goal, supreme light, supreme knowledge, supreme love. But it is in you. Otherwise, you would never be able to contact it. If you go deep enough inside you, you will find it there, like a flame that is always burning straight up. The mother.
Yes, thank you. So in the last session, we had seen that how Mother had, the two of the meditations, the practices were shared, as to how to find the psychic. So first was about the closed door, in which, mother says you sit in meditation before the door, closed door, and with your concentration, that you're just wanting it to open. And the second was find the key. Like there is something that is special to you. There's something that comes to you again and again. And there were quite a few ways in which we were told, if that resonates with us, that how to go about finding the key. So that's what we had done. And this week we start with Mother says the mental rule. Like that one was sitting and meditating and concentrating or connecting within to find the key. And this time, Mother has, what we are reading is that there is a more mental road to discovery of the psychic. So this is the passage. So Mother says the starting point is to seek in yourself that which is independent of the body and the circumstances of life. Here, just in even in the first sentence, it trumps us a lot of times, right? What in me is independent of the body and the circumstances of life? Because everything that I define myself as is basically a, a composition of these. And so many masters and mystics, like Ramana Maharishi, again and again, he would say, if somebody asks him a question, he would say, who is asking? Connect with that who. Ask who that who is. Go in search of that who. JK talks about it, J. Krishnamurti, so many times, right? That I'm nothing but a bag of my conditioning. Who am I? And more and more and more, we know these examples. So again, there are a lot of things that we have heard, that we have read. And there is something, I don't know why, but there is something in me which makes me want to believe that if I've read it, if I've heard it, I understand it or I have become it. But the moment we actually start practicing, say I've maybe read 5 books on meditation, but the moment I sit for meditating is then I know what meditation can be and what it's not, and how tough it is, or how what all comes with it. So just reading, just knowing, just listening that mujhe pata hai, I know. We have seen it again and again that it doesn't help us much. I mean, it's good to know, but if I actually want things to change, if I actually want to become it, live it, I have to do it, sit with it, practice. So again, this seems like something we can say, oh, I already know this one. And yet, have I ever sat with myself? And it's not a one-time thing, right? Does this question keep coming to me and I keep sitting with it? That the starting point is to seek in yourself that which is independent of the body and the circumstances of life, which is not born of the mental formation that you have been given, the language you speak, the habits and customs of the environment in which you live, the country where you're born, or the age to which you belong. So, how in this practice we had spoken about those 20 minutes that we have to give ourselves, not the everyday thing, but dedicated 20 minutes for self observation. So, this is also something we can take it up when we would like to reflect on this, to connect with that in me, which is independent of all that. Yeah. Anything by any sharing, any reflection? Okay, so we'll go there. It may take time to find your personal key. It may be the visualization of a beam of light, a diamond, the imagery of the movement of a drop of water that slowly hollows the hard rock of the outer being, repeating a mantra inside yourself, etc. So again, no fixed nothings, everything open, and for each his own, in his own way, the way we can connect with it. And after you have found your key, it still may take time before you receive a first glimmer of the psychic, and you may have to repeat the exercise many times. But the mother says that each time your search will bring you closer to the truth of your being. There's something in us which gets bored very soon. We all know so many practices, we have heard so much, and yet we don't stick with a process, a practice for too long. We get bored. Yeah, so we have to keep repeating something in order to reach somewhere. We are able to do it in other spheres of our life, right? So much of my life is full of routine. My days, my life in general is just a repetition, right? I've been told that, okay, going to school was not an option. Doing this was not an option. I've just been following the molds, the habits, the way the society goes. I have been going there. Every morning I would, maybe get up, brush my teeth, or clean my house, or make breakfast, or have tea. That is something that I accept. But if I'm being told, or if I decide, okay, this is something I'll do, the resistance that I feel from the body, or the lack of attention span, or the boredom is something very interesting. But if we go through it, if we go, if we are able to move beyond that, then something happens. I mean, the joy of effort, the resist, like say if I don't know if we have gone to gym, or if we have been, I don't know, anything that we feel resistance from, and if we have continued to do that, and we have to do that in most things that we have to, I don't know, learn any instrument, any training, the body resists. But if you're able to stay with it, then things happen. And that's like, mostly that's the case. So the joy of the effort, there are so many questions like this. Like, people had asked mother that, if you can do it, why don't you just do it? Or for you, it's nothing, right? Like, say, even there was this question I'd come across that, Krishna was asked this question, that why would you tell Arjuna, who a chap who didn't want to do it? It would have taken you a second to finish guns off or finish the war. Why the whole Mahabharata? And he had, the answer was that there's a joy in the effort. And I want you to feel that joy. So knowing that and not shirking away, I think would be something, if we have not experimented with consciously, because obviously we have all made efforts, like lots and lots of effort to be where we are, but just to connect with it more consciously, that yes, I know the resistance will come, and yet because I want what I will get by this effort, let me do it. Yeah. Anything from anybody? Just give me 1 second. Yes, Juan, I'm so sorry. I think you wanted to unmute and share something.
No, I'm not sure. I was just thinking. Yes, I think that in the symbol of Sri Aurobindo, this the descending triangle, like the grace, and the ascending represents, I think, that the soul, our aspiration. I think both things are necessary for, for us to experience the grace and to receive it. We must make our little effort and be receptive. And the grace is always there, but yeah, I think we have to do this little effort to receive it.
Yes, thank you. There was this talk, I think, by Alokda on evolution. And in that too, I remember he was sharing that, like, say, when God, say, when the divine created the kingdom of gods, he said he just wished it or visualized it, and there that was created and the gods came. But here, the effort is very important because this realm, he wanted it to be without any limits. So in the God realm, like, we have seen that evolution is not possible. There's no further progress. It is said that the psychic being is not there, for example, we have read it. But here, because he wanted something to have no end to progress. And for that, it has to come from within. For that, one has to individually pick up things and say, I want to do it. Yes, I am in for it. And even that we are not able to do sincerely. We talk about, say, we have spoken about this before, and there was this beautiful talk about, from Dr. Anand Reddy, which we had shared sometimes, that, we say that, the easiest way now, especially after mother's passing, is that, the I love the mother and the mother loves me. And how many of us are sincerely able to say that or feel that? Mother has said that even once, if you say it in your heart with sincerity, that yes, I want this, I want you, that's it. Your fate is sealed. And yet there are things I'm scared of, yet there are things I'm afraid to give up, give up my, I don't know, quarters for the, I don't know, whatever it is that I will get. And yet it is a fact of my life that yes, I hold on, I cling, I grasp to the things which I feel are giving me a lot until I reach the point when I can see they're not really giving me anything. It's fine, but at least if I'm more conscious to it, I feel that's a very big blessing in itself. Yeah.
There's those beautiful lines from Savitri. We have to think of Savitri every time we read these things. An old pull of subconscious chords renews. It draws the unwilling spirit from the heights, or a dull gravitation drags us down to the blind driven inertia of our base. This too the supreme diplomat can use. He makes our fall a means for greater rise. So when I read this, I reread it many times. It's so beautiful. Shobanda says yes, that inertia of the base is so strong. We don't like to be in that. And we've used so many analogies. We don't like to be when our consciousness moves up, we automatically move down. Because it's just that's what we're used to. For so many centuries and births. Then he says this so beautiful. He says, this too the supreme diplomat can use. He makes our falls a means for a greater rise. It's like you're going down, but now you rise higher. Right? It's so beautiful the way he says it. That it's not just like you're going back to the same. You kind of like even if you fall, you then the Supreme uses it to rise even higher. But yeah, that is takes time as you said. Like I think everybody said both one also said so beautifully that both those movements are required.
Yes, thank you. There's another one, just the simple one, that by your stumbling, the world is perfected. By my stumbling, my world is perfected. So, yeah, remembering that helps us in not feeling the despair or feel unmotivated, which we keep, it keeps visiting us, and then we have to reject, push it, or just smile at it if we can. Thank you for sharing. If after a length of time you do not have some result, you may sometimes wonder if you are on the right path. Here is a passage that may give you encouragement and inspiration when such a moment occurs. The mother says, the divine presence is in you. It is in you. The presence is there. You want the appreciation of others to get strength? You will never get it. There was this beautiful video. There was a that Monica had once shared. It was on the Delhi Ashram website, YouTube channel, in which Surinder Kumar Johar, the founder of the Delhi Ashram, he had asked Ma that, that I don't want people to support me or, like kind of say that as in not really, I mean, if they don't want to help me, that's fine. But why can't they just be okay with it? Something like this. And mother had said that I've told you so many times that that will not happen. You'll have to do what you have to do, and the appreciation or the assurance has to come from here, nobody else. I'll see if I can find it. I'll share it again. It's a beautiful talk on the same lines. So much of what I do, I don't know even if I realize it or not, is so that I can get appreciated or at least not get ridiculed or not be told that I'm doing it wrong. But if I truly knew, if I have believed, if I have felt that the divine presence is in me, it is in me, the presence is there. You want, mother says, you want the appreciation of others to get strength. You will never get it. The strength is in you. If you want, you can aspire for what seems to you the supreme goal, the supreme light, the supreme knowledge, the supreme love. I mean, I can aspire to become it, be it, but know that it is already in you. Otherwise, you would never be able to contact it. So it's not that it comes suddenly one day, it's always been there. Like the sky, this is the most common analogy used, that the sky is always there, but there are, clouds and then rains and then thunderstorms. But once when the clouds disperse, when the rains stop, the sky has always been there. So if you go deep inside, deep enough inside you, you will find it there like a flame that is always burning straight up. So I had spoken about the psychic fire meditation. So if there's any comments, any reflections on this, we'll take it and then we'll do it's I think it's a 15-minute meditation. We can do it together and then I'll share it. And just to kind of give the credit. It was shared with us, it was given to us when Monica had requested by the Gnostic Center in New Delhi, Gurgaon. And it's in Amita Didi's voice, this meditation on the psychic fire.
Yeah, so this paragraph in which the mother is saying that the divine presence is in you reminded me of Ish Upanishad, wherein, the author was saying that even the sight, the eyesight which you have, the power to see, the power to speak, the power to hear, so all that is evidence of the divine presence in you. I mean, it was explained very beautifully there, but it's the same thing what mother is saying here. And in there, his guru, that chanting the mantra so many times for so many years, but still, I mean, God doesn't come in front of me, the mantra for whom I'm chanting that God. So he said that the voice is coming through you. So that voice is the God's voice only. You are able to speak. So what more proof do you want that he doesn't come? He's already there in you. So what more are you looking for?
Yes, thank you for sharing. So again, just like we were discussing, that if it's not just something we have read or seen, to believe in it, we'll have to put in more effort to sit with it, to actually feel the truth of these words. Okay. So, should we do the psychic fire meditation now? So, if we are in a place where it's silent, that would be great. We can sit up straight, but shoulders relaxed, we know the drill, and I'll share it now. So in case you can't hear it, it'll start after a few seconds. Do let me know.
True happiness does not depend on the external circumstances of life. One can obtain true happiness and keep it constantly only by discovering one's psychic being and uniting with it, the Mother. This concentration, which is called a dynamic meditation, is one of the most powerful ways of coming in touch with one's psychic presence or psychic flame or psychic being. But for that, the first step is to learn how to concentrate and where to concentrate. So close your eyes and once again allow yourself to be completely at peace. Let your thoughts and your emotions become like a still pond of water. Be completely quiet. Let your thoughts quieten down. Let your emotions become like still, clear water. And gather all your attention, all your consciousness, and focus it deep in the center of your chest. Deep in the center of your chest is the place of the psychic being. Let yourself completely relax and go within. If you find it difficult to concentrate in the center, in the heart center, you may concentrate on any other point. But this is the best place to inwardize one's consciousness and to find the inner psychic presence. This psychic fire meditation is a meditation for progress, and those of you who want to change themselves, transform themselves, this is the most powerful and dynamic meditation. As Sri Aurobindo says, a psychic fire within must be lit. Isn't the psychic fire always lit? The questioner asks the mother. The mother replies, it is not always lit. Then the questioner says, how to light it? The mother replies, by aspiration, by the will for progress, by the urge towards perfection. Above all, it is the will for progress and self-purification which lights the fire, the will for progress. And each defect one wants to cure, or each progress one wants to make, if all that is thrown into the fire, it burns with a new intensity. And this is not an image, it is a fact in the subtle physical. One can feel the warmth of the flame, one can see in the subtle physical the light of the flame. And when there is something in the nature which prevents one from advancing, and one throws it into this fire, it begins to burn, and the flame becomes more and more intense. So let us now begin. Give yourself the space, the time, and do not worry. Just allow yourself to go deep, deep, deep within yourself. And as you go down deeper and deeper, let this will for progress, this will for transformation, become stronger and stronger until you will feel or you see deep within a flame, a light that burns in the center of the being. By your aspiration, let this inner flame, let this light grow higher and higher, higher and higher, until it becomes a burning fire for progress, a burning light. And into it, offer as ahuti all your weaknesses, all that you want to get rid of, all the problems that you have, all your difficulties. And as you offer one by one, the fire grows more and more intense.
Ô toi que je ne puis penser, mais que je connais avec certitude. O thou whom I cannot think, but whom I know with certitude.
Namaste Sharanye Shive Sajakampe Namaste Jagadvandya Padarvindya Namaste Jagadyapate Vishwarupe Namaste Jagatari Rahi Durve Namaste Jagatchintyamana Swarupe Namaste Mahayogi Jnanarupe Namaste Sadananda Nanda Swarupe Namaste Jagatarine Trahi Guruve
रक्ष हे पार्वती हृदय वल्लभ चंद्रमौले भूताधिप प्रमथनाथ गिरीश जाम संसार दुख गहना जगदीश रक्ष ओम नमो भगवते शिवाय श्री अरविंदाय ओम नमो भगवते आदित्याय ओम नमो भगवते शिवाय श्री अरविंदाय ओम नमो भगवते शिवाय श्री अरविंदाय अनंत देवेश जगन्निवास तमक्षय नमस्तुते सर्वेव सर्व सुखदं शुभदं सुखदं शुभदं सुखदं शुभदं
Yeah, so that was the meditation on the psychic fire, connecting us to the psychic fire and telling us how it grows with our aspiration and the offerings to it to make it grow higher and deeper and stronger is to put ahutis of the things that we don't want in us, that we see that we might be struggling with, but they seem stubborn, to put them in the fire. And even all the progress that we want to make, we offer it and it becomes stronger. So again, reading Mother's passage that the divine presence is in you, it is in you, the presence is there. You want the appreciation of others to get strength, you will never get it. The strength is in you. If you want, you can aspire for what seems to you the supreme goal, supreme light, supreme knowledge, supreme love. But it is in you, otherwise you would never be able to contact it. If you go deep enough inside you, you will find it there like a flame that is always burning straight. This last sentence specifically is what we try to connect with this meditation. And it's beautiful to know that it's always there. I just am not there to see it. There is this something, like it's outside a room, and because the room is made of bricks, there's no window, there's no door, maybe I can't see it, but there is a window which is closed and I can open it. If I know it's there, how we were reading in the sunlit part or in the Friday study circle, that first thing to know is to just know that it is there, that it exists, and then you try to connect with it. So I guess similar to that would be so many other things. Yeah, any thoughts or reflections are welcome always. So we still have time, and if we are okay, we can take it up a bit more. We just meet once a week. So yes, Vishal.
Yeah, I was just reminded actually. You also mentioned Isha. There's a beautiful. I'll put it on the WhatsApp later. Uh, Story of Ganpati Muni. So Ganpati Muni was, he was a disciple of Ramana Maharishi, and his disciple Kapali Shastri also, who was who was there. Then I think some of you may know that he went to Shivantu and the mother, and especially he has very beautiful book on the mother. So, anyways, so the first meeting of Ganpati Muni with Ramana Maharishi is really beautiful. He was like, big scholar, and he had all the Vedas, the Upanishads. He knew, he could recite. I mean, he was literally like an intellectual giant. So, but he was not satisfied. So he hears about Raman Maharishi, and he's the one who actually gave him the name. So I'll just read like this one. So he climbs up to the cave where Ramana is sitting, and he prostrates himself. And then he says, all the scriptures that have to be read, I have read. All the mantras and japa that have to be done, I have done. Still, I have no peace. Please save me. So Ramana looks at him, and he says, the young Swami took a little time. For at least 15 minutes, he silently gazed at him. Then, in Tamil, he said something which the translation of English is like this: if one watches whence this notion I arises, and the mind is absorbed in that, that is tapas. When you recite a mantra, watch where the sound is coming from within you. When you sing a song or prayer, watch where it is emanating from your heart. Put your attention on that. That is tyag. That is tapasya. That is all. That's it. Just these three, this few sentences, but you just see it. Like I remember reading it, and it just like a thrill comes over you because it's like the who is the one who sees, who is the one who hears. As you started in the beginning saying that we hear all of this, but I think that is where the effort comes in. You have to focus it over and over. So anyway, I just thought this was such a beautiful thing, and tying to what the passage Isha Upanishad mentioned. So just wanted to share that.
So should we just end here? Because I think this is a beautiful point to maybe just stop and not go further. And again, a very good pointer. We keep getting pointers. We kind of feel the beauty of them, and yet we don't use them. We don't practice. So what Ritu had shared, what Shalji was sharing, just maybe this week, this can be another task for us to connect with the source from which things are coming, from which I'm sensing things. And yeah, I mean, they've already said, I don't want to repeat that. So there's some messages, I don't know. for the sharing. Okay, yeah. So thank you. We will end here. So thanking Grace, thanking Divine for the strength, the ability, the will, the resonance for these sessions, the ability to grasp whatever I am capable of grasping, and the grace that promises to, give more and more and more so that I can become what I'm reading, what I'm hearing, what I'm sensing. So praying for more grace, more courage, more strength, more will towards perfection. Thank you so much.